What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Man, the Sacramento Kings just can't get no love, they can't get no respect, and they don't have any All-Stars, and I think that is the biggest snub of the entire All-Stars voting process, is the fact that the Kings have been a pretty damn good team this year with a couple exceptional players, and they don't have an All-Star to represent themselves in the All-Star game. There is a huge problem with the All-Star voting, and I'm going to kind of dive into it, but I'm also going to dive into why the Kings deserve to have at least one. And you're going to know who those two guys are. Sabonis or Fox. At least one of those dudes should have made the All-Star team, and they got snubbed worse than any other team. We're going to break it down. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But let's get into it, because honestly, it's BS. It's BS straight up to the max, because you have a top 5 team in the West, in a loaded West, with players like Sabonis is averaging 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. That is an all-star every single year, and he doesn't make it. Fox has given you 27, 5, and 4, and he's giving you 38% from 3, which is a career high, and I would say he's been better this year than he was last year, and he doesn't make it when he was an all-star last year. Make it make sense. Right, so that we know their numbers, right? Sabonis, I think Sabonis was the biggest snub, personally, because you can't be basically an average near a triple-double, be first in double-doubles in the entire league, second in total triple-doubles, first in rebounds, and 6th in assists as a center, and not make the All-Star team. The dude, his numbers, you can basically bank on 20, 12, and 10 every other game, and you're probably going to get it. And he doesn't make the All-Star team. That's something that just can't just go sliding under the rug. And I understand like the frustration for like Trae Young and guys like that are like, they put up crazy numbers and they drag their teams and they're not getting no love. Like this stuff matters, because this is, All-Stars can determine how much you get paid, what teams, how teams value. Is he an All-Star level player? No, he's never made an All-Star team, or he didn't make it last year. When in reality, he should have made it. Fox or Sabonis, they should have made it. You go up and down the Eastern Conference, right? The Bucks, we can start with them. You have Giannis, you have Dame, then you have, these are kind of out of order, right? But you have the Celtics, they have Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and then there's the Knicks have Brunson. There's, who am I forgetting? There's a couple of teams. Basically, every team 1 through 6 in the East, the Sixers got Maxey and Embiid, I believe. All these teams have an All-Star, which is fair. It's right. They're All-Star level players. You go to the West, 1 through 5 have it, or no, 1 through 4 have an All-Star, 5 doesn't, and then I think 6 does, and then 8 does, 9 has a couple. Make that make sense, bro. This team is playing better than a lot of teams that have All-Stars, and their players are playing better overall, and it just doesn't make sense how the Kings didn't get an All-Star. They're one of the most fun teams in the league to watch, and like this is the kind of game where you would put a De'Aaron Fox in and let him just swipe it, just go run crazy. It'll be entertaining for the fans. But no, we don't get that. And here's my thing. I'm not mad at any of the 12 guys that made the All-Star team in the West, or the East for that matter. They're all All-Star level players. They're deserving. They're awesome. But their argument isn't against those 12, in my opinion. Those 12 deserve to be on the All-Star team. How do NBA teams basically carry 15 players, or sometimes more now, 16, 17 with the two-ways and stuff, but 15 players on a roster, and the All-Star team is still only 12? Make that make sense. Expand the team to 15 players each. Now you have 3 more All-Star spots per conference. Sure, there's still going to be snubs. No matter, you just keep pushing it further, there's always going to be somebody that gets snubbed. That's how that goes. But at least the snubs won't be averaging almost a triple-double, and the others won't be averaging 27 and 5, and Trae Young in the East with 27 and 10 or whatever he is. You won't have these kinds of snubs. There are so many players in the league that you can think of all the accolades that they could attach to this if they just extended the roster and made it like the NBA rosters. Make it 15 players. Because then at least the Kings would have got 1. And then the Pelicans could have got 1. And that you could go down the list, right? So then at least the teams that are playing good basketball would be represented in the All-Star game. Because that's what this is about. It's about representing good basketball and players that play at an awesome level. And then you turn around and do this. And Sabonis now, I mean, I'm sure these players don't really care, like, to go play in the All-Star game. But, like, at the end of the day, this is going to be something that's on their legacy, their stats, their accolades. It's going to mean something at some point, whether they want to play in these games or not. It's really bad, in my opinion, the way that we're still only doing 12, but the rosters in the NBA are 15 plus. Just expand it and allow more players to participate, because some of these players are going to, like, LeBron might go out there and play 2 minutes in the All-Star game. Might go to throw down a dunk and then check out. But at least we can bring in more young talent that's getting their first All-Star appearances. You'll see a lot more of that. And guys getting put on display for the casual fan who doesn't, let's put it this way, like Tyrese Halliburton obviously didn't get snubbed. He was an awesome player this year. He made the All-Star team. Cool. But a team that doesn't, like, fans don't always watch the Indiana Pacers. So this is their first time to really see what Tyrese Halliburton looks like. Let's just make it like that. Every team that's doing so well should be represented. And the Kings, man, got snubbed worse than anybody. What do you think about the All-Star voting and the process? Because I think it's terrible. I think it needs to be modified. You need to extend the rosters. I personally, what do you think about the Kings and how they got treated throughout this process? I don't think I've ever seen a top 5 seed not have an All-Star, when especially they're putting up statistics like this, or they're like undeniable. I just don't get it. Sabonis, I would have definitely had Sabonis a little over Fox, in my opinion, on the voting. Just barely. But I think either one of them could have been an All-Star and should have been an All-Star. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about the All-Star teams. I think all 12 guys on each team that made it, deserving players for sure. It just needs to be more players on the roster. It's the only thing that makes sense, and how it hasn't changed is kind of beyond me. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. If you're just as pissed off as me that the Kings got snubbed, leave a comment, something, whatever you want to do. But yeah, this was BS. The All-Star voting got to change. I'm done. Peace.